you ever been at a party or in a meeting and felt like you were watching a movie rather than being in one? You're standing there, holding a drink or a notebook, and while everyone else is talking, laughing, and competing for attention, you're just watching. To the outside world, you look shy. You look awkward. Maybe even a little intimidated. But inside, your mind is a supercomputer running at 100% capacity. You aren't quiet because you have nothing to say. You're quiet because you're performing a high-level social audit. You're decoding body language, spotting inconsistencies in stories, and calculating the hidden motives of everyone in the room. Society calls this shyness. Psychology calls it something much more profound. It's known as the watcher's curse, and if you have it, it means your brain is wired differently than 95% of the population. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Hidden Brain. I'm glad you're here. Today, we are going deep into the dark corridors of the mind to explain why the most intelligent person in the room is often the one who says the least. If you've ever felt like an outsider looking in, this video was made specifically for you. Stick around until the end, because I'm going to reveal the exact moment your silence stops being a shield and starts becoming a danger. In the United States, we live in a loud culture. From a young age, we are taught that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you don't speak up, you're ignored. But for the highly intelligent observer, speaking is a secondary priority. The primary priority is data collection. When you enter a room, your brain begins a process called thin slicing. This is a psychological term for the ability to find patterns in events based only on thin slices of experience. While others are busy thinking about what to say next, you are noticing that the person speaking is tapping their foot, which is a sign of high cortisol and anxiety. You notice the subtle eye roll of the person in the corner. You stay silent because you are waiting for the social noise to clear. High IQ individuals often have a low tolerance for performative socializing. You realize that most human conversation isn't about exchanging information, it's about asserting dominance or seeking validation. Since you don't care about those two things, you simply opt out. But there's a darker side to this. This silence isn't just a choice, it's a defense mechanism. By staying silent, you become a black box. People can't read you, but you can read them. This gives you a massive psychological advantage. Why does small talk feel like physical labor to you? If you've ever felt a wave of exhaustion hit you after just 5 minutes of talking about the weather or the weekend, you aren't antisocial. You're experiencing cognitive overload. Research suggests that people with higher than average intelligence process information more deeply. When someone asks you a simple question like "How are things?", your brain doesn't just want to say "good". It wants to analyze the current state of your career, your mental health, the trajectory of your life, and the socioeconomic climate of the country. But you know the other person doesn't actually want that answer. So, you have to dumb down your thoughts to fit the social script. This process of filtering is mentally draining. For the watcher, silence is simply more efficient than the performance of being normal. Furthermore, there is the Spitzer theory of cognitive filtering. Highly intelligent brains have a harder time turning off their awareness. You aren't just hearing the words, you're hearing the tone, the subtext, and the hidden agendas. When the input is this high, the output, your speech, often shuts down to compensate. You are literally too busy thinking to talk. Now, let's talk about something darker, the predator's mirror. In the American corporate and social world, dark charisma is everywhere. We see it in manipulative bosses, clout chasers, and social engineers. These individuals rely on one thing, your desire to be liked. They use conversation to hook you, using flattery or shared complaints to build a false sense of security. The watcher is their worst nightmare. Because you stay silent, you don't give them any hooks. You don't reveal your weaknesses, your opinions, or your insecurities. By staying in the shadows of the conversation, you remain objective. While everyone else is being charmed by the snake charmer, you are the only one noticing the snake. Psychologically, your silence acts as a mirror. When a manipulator encounters a watcher, they often become uncomfortable. They start talking more to fill the silence, and in doing so, they reveal their true intentions. Your silence isn't just a trait, it's a trap for the dishonest. This is why many quiet, intelligent people are often targeted or labeled as creepy by manipulators, because the manipulator knows they can't control what they can't read. But we called this the watcher's curse for a reason. While silence protects you, it also isolates you. The loner paradox states that the more you observe, the more you realize how different you are. This leads to a phenomenon called depersonalization. You begin to feel like a ghost in the machine. You see the patterns of human behavior so clearly that people start to feel like programmed actors rather than complex individuals. This can lead to profound loneliness. You want to connect, but you don't know how to turn off the analytic mode. You want to join the dance, but you're too busy studying the choreography. Moreover, in the American workplace, strategic silence can be misinterpreted as a lack of ambition. If you don't narrate your value, people assume you don't have any. The curse is that your greatest strength, your observation, is often the very thing that keeps you from the opportunities you deserve. So, how do you handle the watcher's curse? The secret isn't to stop watching. The secret is to learn when to leak your intelligence. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room, but you should be the most impactful. When you do choose to speak, make sure it's a surgical strike, a comment so insightful that it proves you've been paying more attention than anyone else. Your silence isn't a flaw. It's a superpower in a world that can't stop talking. Use it to protect yourself, use it to learn, but don't let it become a prison. For this video felt like it was describing your life, let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and it helps me know which hidden parts of the brain we should explore next. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to understand the psychology that everyone else is missing. I'm the voice of Hidden Brain, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.